Hey guys, welcome back to Skylanders Supreme. In this episode I just want to talk to you about the rumored Skylanders 3. In the background you'll see me trying to make some progress with some Nightmare Battle Arenas. Now, according to a Fusible.com article, the link will be in the description below, Activision has just, a few days ago, registered 4 websites under the Skylanders name, and they are SkylandersChaosAlliance.com, SkylandersNanoForce.com, SkylandersSuperForce.com, and SkylandersSwapForce.com. What could this all mean? Well, nothing's been confirmed at this point, but this is about the same time as last year when the Giants website was registered, and then a few weeks later at Toy Fair 2012 they announced the game, and Familygamertv published a video, again this should be in the description below, on the 22nd of November, where Paul Reiche, I believe that's how it's said, he's the studio head for Skylanders Giants, in response to, quote, Skylanders was announced in the New York Toy Fair 2011 and Giants in 2012. Paul Reiche says, and logic would indicate that a pattern is emerging and you might hear something from us in 2013, but he can't confirm or deny it, which is pretty much saying Toy Fair 2013 will be the time to be looking out for the new Skylanders game. Now, Toy Fair 2013, according to the website, is, I believe, February 10th through 13th, so it's only about a week away. And so what could it all mean? There's 4 of them there. Could that be 4 expansions? It's not unheard of for companies when they have a very popular game to plan well ahead. I mean, a good example is World of Warcraft, where they had a game that was very popular, and even though they were working on 1 expansion, they said that they had 3 or 4 expansions that they were also working on in the background. So it is possible that these are all games. It's also possible that one of them is a game and there's 3 adventure packs. It could be that they're all just simply individual little downloadable content bits and pieces that could be added into some of the games. But here are some rumors and other ideas that I've had about what this could possibly be, and I'd love to hear what you guys think or what you guys have heard in the description below, in the comment section below. Now, the number one thing I'd definitely love to see with the new Skylanders would have to be online, being able to input a bunch of online features into the game. I mean, it's the only thing that's really missing, and I mean the best thing about bringing in a lot of online content would, well, online PvP battles would undoubtedly be the best thing, with some sort of ladder system in there. It would be an awful lot of fun. But the main thing that I would say would help the franchise would be the downloadable content. Now, I know a lot of people will say that there already is a lot of downloadable content. Effectively, it's already on the disc. You buy an adventure pack like Pirate Seas, you put it on, and that's your downloadable content. It effectively is, but what's missing there is it has to be created before the game is released. So the moment that the game is released, they're stuck with what's on that disc. Whereas with some real online features and basically being able to download content onto your system, what that would mean is they can have all this downloadable content available online for free to download, but of course you need the figure to actually unlock it. So therefore, when the game is released 6 months down the track, they can bring out a new content patch which will have a new level in it, where you may need to go in and buy that specific figure, but when you put the figure on, it then unlocks it and you can use it. And that means that they don't need to have all this stuff made beforehand, and they can come out with new figures, new levels, even after the game's been released. Whereas right now they have to have everything on that disc, and they can't add anything to it later. They also can't do things like balance it. Now, granted, balancing I don't think is a really big deal. They obviously do want to balance it somewhat because of the change from Skylanders, the original, Skylanders Spyro's Adventure, to Giants. There were some balance changes with certain abilities becoming weaker, some becoming stronger. So they obviously want to balance it at least somewhat to make it a little bit more fair. And of course you'd expect that to be a little bit more pushed if they did bring out some sort of online multiplayer PvP. But definitely the idea of downloadable content, which could possibly be free because you'd be paying for the figures themselves, would be great. And it would also mean that if they have the downloadable content being free, it means that they're still not blocking anybody from taking their figures over to another person's house. So again, let's say I buy a figure that's come out 6 months after the game is released that wasn't in the original lineup. Normally that would mean that person would need to have that downloadable content, but because it's all free, and you had to pay for the figure, it means you can still take it around to all your buddies' place, all your friends' place, or anything like that, chuck it on the portal, and it will still work perfectly fine. So that's a really cool little feature that I think would be great to see in the new game. Other things, I mean, Series 3 is something that's a bit of a touchy subject. I would personally not like to see Series 3 figures coming out. I can certainly see that there is a good chance of there being Series 3 figures coming out, mainly because it makes sense from a business point of view. They can make another figure that they've already got in the game, so it requires little effort, little input, doesn't cost them much to do, and because the Series 2 figure followed one specific spec path, there's still one spec path that is open. And although you could argue the point that certain spec paths don't change how they look, whereas other ones did, which is what Series 2 kind of did, Hex is a very good example with this. A Series 2 figure, she looks exactly the same, except it's just different stance, doing one of her different abilities. So I would certainly say, as much as I would hate to see it, there's probably going to be Series 3. On the brighter side of things, we're going to get back those missing characters. In that same video interview that I linked you in the description below from Familygamertv, Paul Reiche mentions the fact that Boomer is away on a holiday, and he'll more than likely be coming back. So all of the missing Skylanders, Boomer's one, I mean, you've got Ghost Roaster is another one. I mean, there's one from each element that's currently missing from the Series 2. I mean, Warnado is another one that I can think of. So they'll more than likely be coming out with a Series 2 figure, and you'll probably get some Series 2 of the Giants, or maybe Series 2 of one or two of the Giants, who knows. Pretty much a guarantee is going to be new Skylanders. I mean, because you're not creating something that there's a limited option as to what you can do, Skylanders are just completely original little creatures. I mean, it's kind of like Pokemon in the sense that you can keep making them forever, and there's always going to be something new that you can make. So there's going to be new Skylanders, probably new Giants. It kind of depends with where they try and take the game. It would make sense for there to be more Giants. As far as new technology that could possibly be in these new the new Skylanders, I mean, of course we had Light Core with Giants with the ability to light up. What would be next? People are saying that it could be sound, that they make noise, that they may say their catchphrase when they spawn. To me, that makes no sense whatsoever. I mean, if they could get the power to power it wirelessly, to power a speaker, which requires more than an LED does, the speaker quality would be terrible. You'd put it on, it would make the sound, it would sound terrible, and I don't really see the point when it says it out of your TV. What's the point in having a speaker on your portal and on the TV screen? It doesn't really make any sense to me. And again, in that Familygamertv video, there are a few suggestions that he makes of taking it to specific areas, and it would recognize where it is in the world. It says like places in America. Now, I'm not an American, so I can't exactly think of them off the top of my head. I think it was Times Square was one. I don't really see the point in that one there ever making it through. I mean, it's a fun idea, but when it's something that's produced worldwide, it would be unlikely for them to have a main feature of a game where you need to take it to certain areas, unless they put certain areas in every country that it's released in, which would be a massive undertaking, and I'd seriously doubt they'll do anything like that. But again, it's a possibility. Other things that could be cool: a higher difficulty. I know that we've got Nightmare difficulty in there, but I know there's a lot of people out there that have said Nightmare difficulty is good, but it's still pretty easy. Although I personally say that after going through Nightmare, it is easy compared to what it's called. I mean, you'd certainly call Nightmare difficulty a hard difficulty, but I'd certainly say they could tune it up a bit more and make it a bit more difficult. Those last couple of levels on Nightmare was certainly a lot of fun because it was getting quite difficult, and I know I lost a few Skylanders, and I'm yet to get 3 stars on them, and I'll definitely be trying to do so, and that's going to be a bit of fun. But certainly the early levels were nothing. Heroic challenges make no difference if you're on Nightmare difficulty, so I mean, some parts of the game are still very, very easy, so that's another thing that's possible. Once again, referring back to that Familygamertv interview, they did mention the fact that they do have pretty much 2 major groups of the audience, one being the 6 to 10 kind of range, of course, the children, because undoubtedly children love them, but he did also say that kind of your mid-20s to 30s, the child adults, as it were, that love the game as well, as another big audience that they have, which I'm part of. So that's so that at the very least they recognise the fact that they do have a large older audience that is keen on this game, which in my opinion furthers the point that they're going to be bringing in some sort of online feature to it. What else is there that they could possibly be bringing into it? The only other thing that I've got here is, although this isn't something they'll be bringing into it, so to speak, after seeing the evolution from Spyro's Adventure to Giants is a massive step up as far as gameplay is concerned. I mean, the end game is much better than it was in Spyro's Adventure. The graphics and so on were a nice big step up from where it was in Spyro's Adventure. The content-wise, as far as levels to play through, there was substantially less. As far as how many new and original Skylanders there was substantially less. But I mean, the way to look at this is undoubtedly Giants has been a lot more popular than the original. I mean, the original everyone was kind of trying it out, seeing what it was like, and Giants has really polished it and made it it's made it really good. It's a massive step up from Spyro's Adventure, and the fact that now it's taken off so much, I would really expect it to be the next expansion to be a really big game, because sure they had good support for Spyro's Adventure, they saw that it was a popular game, but Giants is really taking it to another level, and I'd expect that they've been pumped in with a hell of a lot more resources for the next expansion, because they've seen that this is a really popular game and it's a really popular franchise that of course is making boatloads of money, that they would be putting in more to push this franchise as far as they can, and especially with the new Disney game coming out, I can't say that I am exactly a big fan of the new Disney game that's coming out. I mean, I have a look at the reviews when it comes out, but I'm not a big fan of the Disney characters. But at the very least, the good thing about the new Disney game that's coming out is that it's going to give Skylanders competition, and the great thing about competition is that it always pushes you to be your best, which means that it's just going to push Skylanders to be a better game. Alright, I think I've rattled on as much as I possibly can about what we have at the moment. I'm looking forward to the 10th of February. I'm going to be watching with intent as to what they're going to be announcing. I know it's still going to be early days when it is announced, so you're probably only going to get the name of it and maybe the main feature of it, such as when Skylanders Giants came out, you knew it was going to be about Giants, so we're going to get a name probably, and we're probably going to get the basic theme that the Skylanders game is going to be based around. And of course it'll just fuel more rumours, but I am looking forward to it because, I mean, I'm just a big fan and it was a great game. So thanks for watching, guys. I think there's a few minutes left of me trying to win in the arena, so I'll see if we can comment on that. Thanks, guys. Okay, so this is take two. I'm carrying on from where we were just to comment on the rest of this battle arena. Now, the first one I got destroyed and I actually got pretty close, but I am kind of using a bit of a cheat tactic to get through this one here. I'd be really curious to see if anyone has any links just to the Nightmare version of this battle arena, of anybody making it through legitimately, because I don't really class this as a legitimate way of getting through it. I'm kind of abusing the fact that Terrafin can go underground and avoid the spells without any issue whatsoever. I mean, it lasts so long, it's fairly unlikely for you to be hit by any of those. I try and dodge a few, but once it gets too much, I dive underground to make sure that I don't take any damage, because each one of them hits for around about 200 HP, and so you get hit by 2 or 3 and it's game over. But yes, I'd have to say this one here is probably the hardest battle arena that I've done of the lot. I haven't quite finished all of them yet. This one here is number 5 of 7 from the first lot. I think I'm up to number 6 of 7 in the second lot, and I believe I'm up to number 6 of 7 in the last lot as well. But yes, it's the primary strategy here is whenever you get into the range, guys, with Terrafin, I'm just using his combo. You have to be in his brawler spec where he focuses on his melee attacks, but he gets a combo of primary attack, special ability, which for me is BBA on the Wii U controller, where he punches twice and he does an uppercut, but the uppercut knocks him back so far that it's very easy to knock him off the edge. It also does a decent amount of damage, because it's the main way that I'm dealing with these massive troll machines. But yeah, so that knocks them all off. It's just a matter of dodging these, which you just run to the edge. When they start firing, you run around in a circle and you whack them a few times. In the first attempt I was going for the one on the left, which was wrong because I found that the one on the right is the one that starts attacking last, so therefore finishes attacking last, which is the one you need to be killing first. This attempt here, I get it much better and take the last two guys out relatively easily. The other great thing about that uppercut move is you swing a few times and you uppercut away, so if you're close to one of those when they're doing the jump, when they land they hit you pretty hard as well, so if you finish with the uppercut you jump away from them, so when they land you don't take any damage. But anyway, I did actually manage to clear that off. Again, I wouldn't really call that a legitimate way of doing it, but it is certainly a way to do it. So again, if you guys have any links to any videos where they've actually done it correctly, I'd love to see the way they dodged them, because some of those spells seem borderline impossible to dodge, and when you're getting hit for 200 damage, you don't last very long. But thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, all the rest of it. Thank you.